Welcome back to another cooking adventure with Vic. Well, tonight's adventure is all about making Amandine sauce as an accompaniment to pan-fried trout, and the dish would be called Trout Amandine. It's a dish that's famously available at Galatoire's restaurant in New Orleans on Bourbon Street. I've had many pleasant memories of lunch at Galatoire's, almost always Trout Amandine. But before I talk about making Trout Amandine and making Amandine sauce, let me tell you about this wine. It's a California Chardonnay, but unlike many California Chardonnays, it lacks that heavy, oaky flavor. It has plenty of acidity, which makes it great for seafood, but it's fruit forward without that overwhelming oaky taste. It's called Coastal Vines from California, and it's made by Coastal Vines Winery. And at a price of much less than $10 a bottle, it's an absolute bargain. Well, the first step in making Trout Amandine is to make the Amandine sauce. The Amandine sauce is basically brown butter. And whenever I make brown butter, I like to use a light colored pan so that I can tell as the butter browns, it doesn't brown too much, which would be more difficult to tell in a dark colored pan. So what I have here is, for tonight, feeding 2 people, is half a stick of butter at low to medium heat. And the butter initially bubbled, but now the bubbling has died down and the solids are beginning to separate. And what actually browns is the solids. I stay away from using salted butter because I like to control the amount of salt in the dish myself. That's one reason. And the other reason is, unfortunately, it's too easy to cover up the flavor of less than perfect butter with salt. So by buying unsalted butter, not only do I control the amount of salt in my dish, in my food, but I actually control the quality of the butter I get as well. And browning the butter is, it's a slow process. Can't be hurried too much because you don't want to burn it. And we'll monitor the butter as we go along. As the butter is browning, I've also placed the almonds, the other ingredient in Trout Amandine, in a toaster oven. And they're browning at about 300 degrees Fahrenheit. And when they'll be almost completely brown, I'll finish off the browning process in the butter. And the reason I do that is, by preparing the two separately, I don't run the risk of either over browning the almonds or burning the butter. So when the two approach about the right phase, I combine the two together and finish them off. This will prevent the butter from getting burned and the almonds from getting scorched. Well, the butter has achieved a beautiful golden brown and it's ready. You can see the color now in this white bowl that it is a golden brown. And I'm going to place it back in the pan and finish off the almonds with it. Well, do you think I have enough almonds in this Amandine sauce? Ah, the wonderful nutty smell of brown butter. Part of the process of preparing the fish is to flour it lightly. And what I prefer to do is to make a combination flouring mixture where, yes, I do use flour, but I also add panko breadcrumbs. Panko breadcrumbs are Japanese breadcrumbs that have a very crunchy texture to them, and it'll make the fish even crispier than regular breadcrumbs. They're unflavored. But to the flour and panko mixture, I also added Cajun seasonings. I've added some Bell's poultry seasonings, which is basically ground thyme and sage. and salt and pepper. And the other thing that I wanted to point out is that now that the Meunier sauce is ready, I'm going to put some lemon juice in it. And this is one handy little device for squeezing lemon juice. Lemon juice always goes well with fish. And butter, it'll cut some of that fat. Well, I'm at my outdoor cooking station. No one likes to cook seafood indoors because of the smell that it permeates throughout the house. So I purchased a very handy butane-powered cooker. It can actually be used indoors or outdoors. But here, for cooking fish tonight, I'm using it outdoors. It's very handy. It can also be used in emergencies. And we'll fire it up. Be sure to shake off the excess flour. Put it skin side down first. Get that nice and crispy. Now insert the temperature probe and take a part of the fillet. And I just track the temperature. And it's 145 degrees. It's getting there. It's about 127 now. Now up to 146, 148. I think we're getting there. 145. There we are. 145, the fish is now coming off. Beautiful, crispy, brown fish fillets. Aren't they gorgeous? I'll now assemble them with the Meunier sauce.